Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of my podcast. My name is Darren Connell, and thank you very much for joining me last week. I thought it was fantastic, very surprised at how well it went, and it was pretty therapeutic for me as well. So it's pretty cool that I've got my pal Paul here directing, producing. All right, Paul?
All right, mate, I've got a mic this week.
Yes.
You can hear me?
The people spoke and told us to get Paul a mic. So that was a good laugh last week, wasn't it?
It was, mate. It was,
Many subjects covered. I still can't fucking speak, by the way. We'll get there eventually. I've no left the house in 9 months. The only people I've spoke to is my ma, my dad, a couple of my mates and Paul. So I'll be able to string a sentence together. We'll get there. So thank you so much for tuning in again. I loved last week. Just spoke for the heart, tried to have a laugh. We're getting there as well. Like I said last week that, you know, a poster never get made. We've made a poster now, which I thought was shit hot. I was going to bring a laptop to make it look more professional, but I've just got the notes on the table because my laptop is caked in spunk. Because
because of these 9 months. You've been COVID come.
I say 9 months, basically since I've been 14. I mean, what else would you use a laptop for? Maybe that's why I'm a fucking failure in life, but I've kept my notes in front of me. I've got my Monster, my water, my phone, and next week I'll have a laptop there. So a lot of people responded to Gary Barlow being a Muslim last week. That was weird. Lots of racist, bigoted Gary Barlow fans out there. He's not a Muslim. You can edit that out. I'm going to get fucking cancelled, aren't I?
No.
He might not be a Muslim, but he's a Jehovah's Witness.
I was wondering what you were talking about there. So what's happened to you?
Do you not remember what I was saying last week?
About Gary Barlow?
I was saying Cat Stevens get stranded out in a dinghy.
Uh-huh.
And
then became
then I was like, imagine if that was Gary Barlow.
Right.
Fuck, he doesn't even listen to the podcast. What chance have I got if he's like one person watching it? Mad Cat Stevens fan. Do you know, I don't want to keep talking about Gary Barlow every week, but do you know, like I preferred him when he was fat and depressed. Like at least he was fucking honest. I remember one time he was getting an interview, right? And he was like, I was 18 stone and I went to Tenerife with my family and I was sitting in the pool and I smoked a joint. And I'm like, is that supposed to be depressed? Sounds fucking brilliant. Now the cunt stops eating after 2 p.m. I remember reading that. He's like, I don't eat any food after 2 p.m. Mate, get back to Tenerife,
what
mate.
A shite existence that sounds like. Mad
Back
Gary
to
Barlow.
Tenerife and get a joint, didn't you, Gary?
I used to be fat and pay my taxes.
I know.
Now I'm skinny and a Tory.
Aye. He is a Tory, isn't he?
Gary Barlow's get the he's a bit of I don't know, like a microcosm for human existence, because and take that, right? He was a talent. He wrote the songs. He made the money. Yeah. But he wanted to be the skinny one as well and wanted to be the good looking one and couldn't accept the fact that he was basically a chubby songwriter.
I know. Plus he wasn't even that chubby, I know, man. I would take that right now. Honestly, I would take a fat Gary Barlow right now.
Still peaking after 2 p.m, mate. You'll be alright.
Nah, my fuck. I'd rather wing it. Boxing training's going well. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better. A lot of people got in touch talking about mental health stuff, which was nice, even though I'm trying my hardest not to turn this into a mental health podcast. But do you know what? See if it gets me paid. I'm like, fuck it. It's a mental health podcast. Let's all go up to the campsies and get our arseholes out. That's a cult. You know how I says Jehovah's Witnesses? I would rather be a Jehovah's Witness than the cold water therapy.
I'd rather be a Scientologist than do Wim Hof breathing.
Aye, fucking right. Because Tom Cruise is brand new. I mean, I know he's like, they're a bit wacky, but Tom Cruise seems alright. Do you see he ate 2 curries in Birmingham?
No.
He was doing the Mission Impossible film, and they must have been filming it down in Birmingham, and he went to a local Indian and he munched 2 curries and he was standing outside. Like basically the owners of the restaurant were like, Tom Cruise ate 2 curries. And Tom Cruise is just standing there like that. Bet you Gary Barlow couldn't eat 2 curries back in the day.
Maybe before 2 p.m. he'll munch 2 curries, but fucking hell, man. Tom Cruise is like, they're like beyond famous. Guys like Tom Cruise, it's like, can you imagine what it would be like to even try and live a day like him?
Oh, it'd be fucking brutal. I've heard he's get panic alarms. There you go, man. You can't even eat 2 curries without getting judged. Do you know what I mean? Can't even just chill out and be a fat cunt for one night without a restaurant saying, here mate, can we take a picture of you? And put it, after you've ate 2 curries and all, you'd be bust, wouldn't you? He did look like he was in a carb coma. He was just like that. But that brings me to the fact that literally anybody could be famous in Glasgow. I don't know if you have noticed that, but if you walk through Glasgow city centre, there is some strange characters. Like I was thinking, I hate to say this, right? I think I'm famous, right? But within a half a mile radius of my house. That's as famous as Ammer. And but like, see the buskers in Glasgow. I'm trying my hardest not to be offensive here, right? But it's weird because I don't know if you've seen some of them, right? But you could literally stand in the middle of Glasgow city centre, right, with a spoon and just do that. Yeah, nah, 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 and get somebody to put some rave music on or something. You'd be like that with 2 sets of spoons. I'm a dancing spoon guy. Now, if that was anybody anywhere else in the world, right, they'd do that. That cunt needs help. But see, in Glasgow, oh, look, it's the dancing spoon guy that does the raving. Oh, that's lovely, innit? And I'm thinking, I can't even get an audition. And that cunt is probably earning a weekly wage.
Who are you talking about? Mad Leo?
No, Leo's all right.
The mad guy with the dancing bins or something like
That's
that,
exactly
okay.
who I'm talking about. I didn't know what to name him, man.
He's
But
got like bins for like a drum kit.
Aye.
I said this to my missus, like we were walking down Buchanan Street a couple of weeks ago and it was basically a wee guy with a karaoke machine. And I was like that's not really, is that busking? Like just turning up with a mic and a fucking speaker and singing at the top of a backing track? I don't know, man. Like,
no,
I don't know.
Shite.
It's like the quality of buskers went right down. Do you remember my Jimi Hendrix guy back in the day? He was everywhere. Played a Fender Strat. He was a good guitar player. He was a good busker. Now there's a woman that sits on Sucky Hall Street and literally just hits the guitar and sings at the top of it. She's not even playing notes.
Does she get glasses? Mm-hmm. I know who you're talking about.
She's annoying as fuck, mate. I've got vendettas out against some buskers because I worked in town for so long. There's a mad guy that plays fucking Hank Marvin.
Who's Hank Marvin again?
The Shadows.
Right, aye.
So he plays that fucking Apache. See that? He plays that. 3 songs he plays running a circle.
God, he's been doing that for years.
Aye, that guy, right? So he sits and plays the same 3 or 4 songs on a loop. And see when you're in a shop, try to sell fucking mobile phones, and your soul's like dying in front of your eyes, like actually seeping out your fucking ears.
That would be soul destroying. I know Leo. I feel like I need to say Leo's a good guy.
Aye, yeah, he's a good guy.
Do
you remember the city centre jester? Guy used to walk about with the jester's hat, like pure neon, like rave stuff.
Mate, Glasgow city centre has changed, mate. I don't know if you've been through recently.
Mate, I stay there.
Aye, it's like really, it's like so basically, I went through to Glasgow city centre for the first time a couple of weeks ago in 2 years, and within the space of 2 minutes, I seen racism, a homophobic attack, and a random homeless person just walked up to a guy and done that. And I'm standing there eating a fucking falafel thinking, wow, this place has went downhill. Where's the guy with the spoons? No music playing or nothing. Literally, I could just stone at a set of traffic lights and do that. Everybody'd be like, is that Bobby for Scott Squad? What the fuck has happened to Bobby? I'd be like, oh, the comedy clubs are shut. I've lost all my hair. I've put 5 stone on. I'm homeless. Can you give me some money? They fucking wouldn't give me money, I know, because they'd be like, he's on the telly, he's a prick. Get 2 spoons out. Oh, that Glasgow. People make Glasgow. Aye. So I'm going to go through a list of what I've done, and just talk shit. I'm just trying to be funny. That sounded really pathetic there, didn't it?
Please tell me I'm funny.
No.
I could translate some of your insecurities into...
Aye, darn, you need medication, you're fucked. 2 seconds, I'll take a drink of my juice. I don't know if I said this last week, but because I've been feeling stressed and kind of down and stuff, I've been trying to do things to make myself feel better, start taking vitamins again, and just wee daft things like even just drinking more water, better sleep. But what I did was I went for a colonic about maybe 6 weeks ago, and I've been for a colonic before to the point that I used to talk about it in my stand-up set, and then we made it as a sketch in Scott Squad. But I went there recently, and a colonic is amazing, by the way. It is quite uncomfortable. You basically sit, you take your pants off, right? I don't wear pants. I'm saying if you wear pants, I wear boxers, right? Pants makes it weirder, doesn't it?
Aye. So I get the vision of the mad blue Y fronts you used to wear when you were a wee boy. Somebody talks about pants.
Aye. So you take them off, you can leave your socks on, you curl up in a ball, and the nurse specialist puts like a tube up your arse, and about fucking 20 gallons of water goes up your stomach, and it cleans you out, and it makes you feel amazing. I remember the first time I got it, I had a hangover, and it completely... I don't know why I'm staring right into your eyes as I'm saying that. I had a hangover. I had a gig the night before and I get steaming, and I went in. I was still half jaked, and it completely sobered me up, and it was mental. But this time it's like there's no way you can, dance around it. It's uncomfortable. So I've not spoke to anybody in 2 years, and then all of a sudden you're curled up in like a gurney with your arsehole exposed. And this nurse is like so nice and so kind and so understanding. But she's like, we need to inspect your arse before we put the tube. I don't know why I'm still staring right into your eyes as I'm saying that. But we need to inspect your arse. I mean, she never says arse, but she says,
Your hole.
We need to inspect your fart box before we stick a set up it, alright? Cash in hand, is that alright? But there's this bit, I don't know if this makes me sound like an absolute beast, but she's like, I need to inspect it. We need to inspect it, like there's a team of them. We need to inspect your arse before we put the tube up, and she kind of gels it and then sticks a finger up your arse to see, I don't know, if you've got something wrong with your asshole, basically. But she's like, oh, this is the really uncomfortable part. I'm so sorry that I need to do this. This is really bad. And I'm like, that feels fucking brilliant, actually.
I say, did you come?
I was like, can you book me in the morning? Can I do 10 in a row?
I wonder why. I'm going to Google that. Why are they doing that? Either they're doing it for a reason or she fancied you.
Well, it was amazing. Who needs therapy? Who needs cold water therapy? Never mind therapy.
Need a finger check.
Aye. So I'm not gonna tell her. I'm not gonna tell you where it was, because Mad Scott Squad fans will be turning up. Bobby, get a finger up his arse. Can you put a finger up my arse? Aye, so it's like £60 for a colonic. You can get a vitamin jag as well. which reminds me, a viewer. I don't want this to be a mental health. Are you Googling photos of colonics?
No, I put in, why do they check your prostate before a colonic? And it's for inflammation in your prostate, because the tube could basically like hurt your prostate. Aye. And it goes up the butt. But what I was thinking about is that any time I drink, mate, I've got diarrhea. That tube, that finger would have been up and I would have shat all air or fucking on.
Aye. It's weird. See, when she basically sticks a finger up your arse past the knuckle with a glove on and warm lube, but you know, as you're doing that, she's like, so I've never really watched Scott Squad before. Can I get it on iPlayer? I'm like, oh, I think it's on YouTube. Can I come back tomorrow? Date with cold water, but because I'm into cold water therapy. I like all these cunts go up to the waterfalls. I like cold water therapy. Shot up my arsehole. We got a lot of hate last week, by the way. What are you talking about? I do cold water therapy all the time. It's brilliant. I mean, I've not got any teeth and my hair's all fucked and my back's all fucked to fucking... But you know what? It makes me feel good. No, you need a doctor, mate. Go to a hospital, mate, and get a checkup. You look like Quasimodo, mate.
Please do it.
Imagine walking your dog up the campsies, right, and you look down and you see just a Quasimodo looking cunt. I don't need to go to the doctor. I think you need to go to the doctor. Fucking... I'm slagging people that do cold water therapy when I get a tube up my arse, so it swings and roundabouts, doesn't it? It's what life's all about. Giant Gary Barlow get a colonic.
He's 100%. Mate, he does it no to cleanse or anything, mate. He gets the tube put up his arse because he loves it, man. That might be homophobic. I'll cut that out.
Well, do you know how I said Cat Stevens when he gets stranded out in the dinghy? This is for last week's listeners, all four of you. When Cat Stevens gets stranded out in the dinghy, he prayed to God to save him, and if he saved him, he would give his life to God. Now, if that was me, I'd be like, God, if you save me, I'll give you my life. And then if he saved me, I'd do that. Kidding on. Kidding on, mate. Imagine if you'd done that, but kidding on, God. Oh, well. This whole podcast is just me talking about my farter and slagging Gary Barlow. There we go. Cold water therapy. How come one of these cunts have no died yet? The cold water therapy people.
Fuck knows. Shallow water.
Do you know, I think it's something really funny about it? I mean, obviously it works, and I know it works, and cold showers are so good for you, right? But I remember watching a video, right? And it was like an old woman jumping off the tap of the campsies, right, head first into the fucking waterfall. She wasn't even wearing like shorts or anything. She looked like she was wearing a dress. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening, man? Like, I can't believe somebody's not died yet.
Me neither, actually. But, I mean, like you say, man, it must work in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
I mean, the cold showers, it does work for people. I've done it myself. I just don't go on about it.
I know.
It's like cunts that go to the gym, they're posting about it constantly. Why are they doing it? To show off.
Aye.
It's no the benefit of like that's almost like a sort of secondary thing, I think. What a lot of these guys that when you see them is they climb these Monroes to take a photo and put it on their Instagram. So it's about showing off to other people. So it's no for their benefit, it's for other people's benefit. So that's kind of pointless, isn't it?
I think that's why it annoys me, because I don't exactly disagree with it. I know how good it is, but it's like the people that go to the gym and stuff, you're just like, honey, shut the fuck up. Quite comically as well, I mean, I've been quite vocal and open about what's happened to me during this lockdown. Essentially lost everything. I've spoke about my mental health and all that type of stuff. So I'd be like, I've put on 8 stone and I feel suicidal. I've not felt suicidal since I've been 18. Now I'm 34. Can't I believe I'm back to that dark stage of my life. Never ever thought I would get there. You know, I'm sober. I think about drinking. I think about maybe drugs. I'm in a dark, dark, horrible place. And then somebody will do that. So when's your next gig? You back doing the stand-up? Like, what? Do you know Kevin Bridges is at the stand? You could do a gig with him. You're like, no, I'm not.
Nodder, fuck off.
Thank fuck my man, my dad don't watch this either, because I'm just going to slaughter them every time I do a podcast. Nothing really has, I've got nothing really to say about them. Last week they get slaughtered a wee bit.
I just brung them into it. What's your Mo's favourite Glasgow Mo's saying? Like, my Mo says, "Uck, it's all one." You could be talking about, like, aye, mum, listen, I see George Floyd to get murdered with these cops. That's why BLM. She's like, "Uck, it's all one." Like, no, Mo, it's not all one.
See, Mama, this is a moment Mama's more mental than your ma, because she wouldn't even know what you meant by that. Like, Mama, right. I love her, right? She's my best pal. She's funny as fuck. If she knew how to walk to a stage for the back room of a comedy club without falling, she could do stand-up comedy.
Right, aye. Unintentionally funny, is it?
Aye.
Right.
And she does things to embarrass me as well, but she doesn't even realise that I don't get embarrassed anymore. So I could be in the tune with her, or like walking down the street, and she could wait until I'm walking, like I'm like 100 yards away, and then she'll just shout, like, just make, like, she used to shout, like, "Give the guy a banana." I'm like, what the fuck? Right. So obviously she's seen a film or something. I really hope to God she's seen a film, right?
Something with that.
Either that or she's like riddled with dementia. Sorry, that was a horrible dementia joke. Can we keep that in?
Aye, fuck it.
I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to offend anybody. But it's my ma. And I'm like, "Give the guy a banana." I used to walk to school. She used to scream that. And obviously it used to really embarrass me. Remember one time in All Right, you know how you can go into House of Fraser and all these shops and get free perfume, like a free scoosh?
Aye, samples.
Aye. So she'd be like, at any point in my life, she's like, "Let's go in and get some smellies." Now, at some points, I've done well, like with Scott Squad and stand-up and stuff, and I'm like, "Let me just buy it." And she's like, no, we've got to go in and get our smellies. So what, I mean, this is like well before COVID. I went in one day, and she's like, but that's the thing, she's fucking squishing them all, so she ends up smelling like shite. It's not even like nice. She just takes them off to squish them all.
Fucking Jason's Technicolor Dreamcoat of fucking perfumes. It's like every perfume absolutely stinking, like, for fuck's sake.
So she grabbed this bottle once for a shelf. I'm sorry, man, if you watch this. And she thought it was perfume, and it wasn't perfume, it was cream. So she's like that, oil fucking oil her hair and oil her face with cream. I'm like, man, that's face cream, you mad bastard. And it wasn't even a free sample either. I also remember we were going up we went to, I can't remember what happened, but it was a set of escalators, and she fucking went up the wrong escalators. You're off your nut. So that's where I get my sense of humour for. I'd like to think that's where I get my sense of humour for. People for Twitter might think otherwise. I always get grief, especially when I talk about football. I always get grief on Twitter.
Right, fuck that, man. It's the worst.
I said the other night, Celtic fan was complaining about the atmosphere in Celtic Park sometimes. The fans can be a wee bit ungrateful, which I agree with at times, but I've also been vocal in saying that when I was younger, I used to support Rangers, and I did.
Very brave of you to admit that.
Aye. Right up until I was like 9 or something.
Oh, right, aye. So you're a wee boy?
Aye.
Right, okay.
The wee guy.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it's when Rangers were
winning.
winning,
Aye,
and that was it.
I know multiple people that's the case, that family Celtic fans are now Celtic fans, and when they were really young, because they had mates that were Rangers fans because Rangers were pretty much dominating football, they're like, well, I want to back the winners.
Exactly. And there's no bullshit attached. You just like the better team, and that's it. Which I don't disagree with, by the way. But so I said that about Parkhead and the fans being a bit ungrateful. And this guy piped in, and he was like, did you know you used to support Rangers? I was like, aye, until I was 9. He's like, we know who you are. We're watching.
What did he mean about
I don't like here. First of all, Danny McGrain was a Rangers fan, wasn't he?
Aye. Protestant anyway, for sure.
Kenny
Dalglish.
Jock Stein.
Yep.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Aye.
Can Bobby for Scott Squad not be in that bracket?
But what did he mean? We know who you are.
I was like, shut up, you fucking dick. Let me have an opinion, man.
You fucking turncoat.
I know.
But my best mate when I was a wee boy growing up was a Rangers fan, and I ill-advisedly went to Ibrox with him for an Aberdeen Rangers game and was just like, I can't deal with this, man. I don't know, I've heard a few people say this, but there is a genuine toxic atmosphere at Ibrox, and when you go to Celtic Park, it's no there. It kind of feels fun, like being there, do you know what I mean?
Aye. I mean, I don't want to go into that too much, because I don't want to get done in.
You know who you are.
But I have noticed, I mean, obviously, both sides are mental, but I have noticed that Celtic fans on Twitter are mental as well. I get a lot of grief for Celtic fans, mate. Oh, this best fans in the world shite. I don't think so.
You're going to get grief for saying
I know. Sitting in Parkhead and I could turn round and a guy's just like at wee spoons. Hey! Monaselic! I'm like, I fucking seen you in the town busking, you cunt. This is not going to be like a radio show, I know. Fucking how shite is radio?
Mate, I've not listened to radio since I was, I mean, if I'm in an Uber, but it just, no, it's just music that plays on repeat, but like when a wee boy, I used to listen to Scotty McClure. Remember him? What was, I can't even remember that radio station. It was something to do with Scotland, but it wasn't BBC affiliated. But Tiger Tim rated Clyde One. See, other than that,
that was when it was good.
Aye, George Bowie, and even then the Super Scoreboard was good back then. But I've not listened to actual commercial radio for about 20 years, man. Got to be at least 20 years.
Aye. I mean, I'm slagging at the new. In a couple of weeks, I'll probably be like, hi, everyone. It's Darren Connell, and welcome to Glasgow FM. What's happening on the show today? Couple of quick questions for you. Macaroni and cheese? You ever have brown sauce or tomato sauce with it? This is the actual banter these cunts come away with. And I've been eating macaroni and cheese since I've been 4 years old, and I've never had it plain. I've always had it with sauce. Text in today and let us all know what kind of sauce you have your mac and cheese with, and you're like, mate, you're on 60 grand a year to talk about what kind of sauce you put on your mac and cheese.
Aye, mate, they're running out of ideas for fucking sure, man.
Or see when they hit away with banter, and me and the guys, we were playing a game of golf the other day, and Thomas, he ate a banana and he didn't put the peel in the bin, and then Stephen slipped on the peel. It was like we were in a cartoon, an actual Disney cartoon in the middle. Anyway, guys, back to mac and cheese. Today we're going to talk about Glasgow buskers. We have with Thomas the spoon dancer. Kidding on. Remember the deaf buskers?
Aye,
Is
man.
that inappropriate saying deaf?
No, it's fact.
Aye.
Hearing
No,
impaired.
sorry, they weren't deaf, they were blind.
I think they might have been both. No, how could a deaf person play keyboard?
Mate, aye. It was
They were definitely blind though. It was a husband and wife, wasn't
yes.
it? Mm-hmm.
And they were good. They were good.
Uh-huh. I know, I remember them well, mate. I remember them very well. I think there was accusations that they weren't actually playing, that it was like the backing track, like a programmed backing track into a Castle keyboard. But I'm pretty sure that one of my mates who is a music teacher, like, stood and watched when he was at uni, was like, no, they're playing.
Aye.
100% guy, like, confirmed that they could play the keyboard.
Oh my God. Aye, because I remember they had a team of people like that used to sit, I suppose, like sit run so nobody would steal money off them. And they had the bucket with the chain attached to it and stuff because a few people tried to grab the
Like,
bucket.
dip their bucket, man.
Aye.
Blind cunts. Would he make a, like, the
Blind
guys that...
cunts, you need to edit that out, no? You can't just say blind cunts. Do you see the blind cunts in the tune singing, man? Fucking brilliant.
I don't know. It's like, people go like, oh, that big cunt.
Well, I suppose. Aye.
Man, with that, I don't think. But would he make it like these guys that you see? I seen one time I was in Amsterdam and I seen a guy, and then 3 weeks later I was in Glasgow and he was in Glasgow. So there's definitely like a sort of travelling busker, but he was like fire, whatever, like fire breathing. But then they've got the magicians and that. Would he make it like that sort of, no busking, but like street performing?
I think street performance, it doesn't work in Glasgow. It just doesn't work in Glasgow, man. It's haunted here. The streets are haunted. Honestly, see if you're a busker, just get out of Glasgow. Edinburgh's alright, Edinburgh Fringe and stuff, but see when you've got like, because some of these guys are actually, and girls are in the circus, like proper street artists, like the real deal. They come through, they travel all around the world, they come to Glasgow and they're like, we need a volunteer. Can anyone come here? Come on and join. And it's just like, I'll do it. You know, like, I've gave half of my life.
It's always the most mental cunts that stop as well. It's like some cunt that's just wanting a pal stops for this magician and he's like pure, pick a card, and they're just like you're saying, they're like pure, cheers mate, yes.
So wait, did you buy CD cards? If you always had the cards, when did you buy them? You're like, mate, just going to pick a card. No, the hang is before I pick it. Or I feel so sorry for buskers as well, because like anytime they do an amazing song, one of these mad cunts will just be like, like,
stealing their thunder with a wee performative dance in front of them.
And then after it, they're like, like they're a gladiator or something. Are you not entertained? To a wave of silence. The buskers like, I just want to pay a bill tonight, mate.
Demanding half of the take. Keys off your money.
I like a really shite agent. Another thing that I've noticed that really grinds my gears is people that tag themselves into hospitals on Facebook. How come it's them that never die? Huh?
Well, maybe Facebook saves them. Have you ever met anybody that's ever tagged themselves and then died?
Never.
Well, that means that it's the tag that did it, mate.
But
the false equivalency.
How good would it be? No, in fact, it wouldn't be good. That'd be shite.
What?
How good would it be if somebody that... Basically, what I'm trying to say is I want them to die. I'm not educated enough to string that into a sentence, but the attention seekers that tag themselves into hospitals, I want them to die.
It would be really nice if they tagged themselves and then somebody... family member commented underneath, pure, unfortunately they're dead.
Aye.
Do you know what's actually been freaking me out? And we can take this out or leave it in, whatever. See, the last sort of wee while, a few of my Twitter followers have passed away, and I'm finding it quite creepy that they're still kind of like a digital stream of consciousness that sort of follows me, and that's going to be weird. What are they going to do in like 20 years when somebody's got like 250,000 followers and they're still selling, like, getting ads, and I'm an influencer, but like 150,000 of these cunts are dead.
That's mad, isn't it?
What are we going to do when that happens? Like, what the fuck?
What? Well, there would be thousands of people online that are dead. Like, I've had that as well. Like, no, recently. I've done that recently. See if... Obviously, somebody that you would know that dies is devastating, but I get a year and then they get unfriended.
For fuck's sake.
But fucking right, they get unfriended. I know that they would not.
They'll not be liking my posts.
They understand. But that is quite creepy. Oh, he's dead now. Get him to fuck.
It was just, I think it was one in particular where they were like, it was kind of a nice sort of tweet, but it was like, this is the family of John or whatever, just to let you know that unfortunately John passed away. And I was like, kind of, that's fucking shite. But then I noticed that the guy followed me and I followed him and I was thinking, this is creepy, man. This is weird. Like, this guy's forever going to follow me. He's not even get the chance. I could do a shite tweet. He's not going to get the chance to unfollow me because he's fucking pan breed.
That's his purgatory.
It's my Twitter feed.
Aye. Imagine, like, obviously people that pass away, but some people that know that they're dying have always get like lovely last tweets. But imagine if your last tweet was a pure shiter. Like, I just had toast and cheese there while watching The Sopranos. Oh, what, man? That was your last tweet ever. Or I was like, went for a colonic, the nurse had a finger up my fart box, and to be honest with you, it was alright. Then the Sun, the Daily Record, are saying Bobby for Scott Squad, fart box, tweet. Maybe that's what killed me. Addicted to colonics. How did he die?
I don't know. And see, to be honest, I'm happy you asked that because see, when I see like public such and such has died, that is my first thought. And I think that's everybody's first thought.
Aye.
But then when you go into the comments and you realise that nobody's got the balls to ask the question, you just sort of give up on that. You're like, but they have this morbid, well, you know, no speak for everybody, but there's two in this room that's 100%. That's the first thing I think. It's like, I wonder how they died.
Aye.
It's a strange one. That.
It's never like he choked on a grape. It's always like, guys, I'm not even going to say that. But you know what I'm going to say.
I don't know.
It's always horrific. Imagine if you choked on a grape and that's how you died. God would be like, what the fuck are you doing here, man?
Sending you back. Get fucking back.
Tell them I get knocked down. I'm never going to live this. And I don't even know what I'm saying. I had a follower last week because I was talking about my mental health. They were saying, what do you do to have a good mental health day? Or how do you treat yourself when you're having a bad mental health day? And again, I don't want to make this into a mental health podcast. It isn't. But because you asked the question, I'll answer it. So on a good mental health day, I like to take nootropics, vitamins. I set them beside my bed.
What nootropics do you take?
Ginkgo bio.
Right, aye. Mm-hmm.
And I've got lots of kind of mushroom ones as well, like
lion's mane and. Mm-hmm.
Aye, so it's like a mixture of them, all illegal, and legal, and you can get them off Amazon. Mm-hmm. So I just take a couple of them in the morning, where like when I was proper in the zone, like lying in my bed in the morning, wake up, grab them, take them with a litre of water, and before my feet have hit the carpet, I feel like I've done something productive. I would also take magnesium and zinc before bed because supposedly that helps you sleep better. High strength vitamin D. I'm like the fucking car crash version of Joe Rogan here. And that's a good mental health days, but bad mental health days, I just eat Pringles and rip the fucking lid off it. So it's so easy to say, do you know, guys, walk to the top of the mountain, take a deep breath, drink lots of water. But we're all fucked. Nobody wants to do that. I'll literally just rip the lid off it and watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And then I put on that much weight, I get to the point that I think my heart's going to explode. I think I should go for a walk. Maybe have a shower the day and then build it up for there, you know what I mean? Right, guys, we're going to keep it short and sweet. I know a lot of people don't have much time these days, so short and sweet is what it's all about. If you enjoy the show, I'm going to start doing one a week. It would be appreciated. It would be appreciated if you could share it even amongst pals and WhatsApp groups and stuff. And I do buy me a coffee. All that money goes towards this venue hire. I just made a poster, so it's not like, you know, I'm Gary Barlow and I don't pay my taxes. It literally goes towards like buying a bottle of fucking soda water and the venue hire. So thank you to everybody that's bought a coffee so far. If you can't afford it, then that's cool. I think that's all I've got to say, mate. Have you got anything to add?
No, mate, not at all.
Was that all right?
Aye, mate, funny. Enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that as well. Episode 2, Great White Whale.
Superb.